after e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, the Italian game is on the board. Black plays this insane gambit, the Rousseau Gambit. f5. The move we're going to go through for this is knight to c3 immediately. This gives birth to a crazy variation that I once encountered. Now you take the pawn in e4 already, and after the knight takes back, d5 simply wins a piece. It's a fork. However, this is part of the line. You gotta be prepared with this, because I did play against it in a blitz game once and I lost it. So white goes on with knight takes e5. Two pieces are hanging and the white player hangs another piece. What to do now? Best move and only move will be knight takes in e5. And now you're still attacking a piece with a pawn, and that pawn is defended, so you should be winning more material. But the white player did this at the cost of the initiative. Queen h5 check. The only move now is knight to g6. Obviously you don't want to play g6 because that loses the entire game, so be careful to that. That's not what I fell for. I'm not that fool. Queen takes knight will be winning for white. So black plays knight to g6 now, and now suddenly there's two pieces attacking the pawn in d5, so it looks like the white player will be able to win some material back. So bishop takes. Black is up a minor piece but down 2 pawns, so the advantage is not too much. But let's play accurate the next moves, and we will get out of this easily winning. The best move now by black is bishop to g4. The reason is simple. We want to reduce the initiative that the white player has by giving up the bishop. Queen takes bishop, then we can take the bishop in d5. This cannot really be avoided. For example, where's the queen going to go now? None of these squares is accessible because you'll get taken everywhere you go. The only one will be queen g5, but then you just swap. Queen takes, knight takes back, and now long castle, and that comes with an attack on the bishop. And remember, all we need to do is just simplify the game, because we're up material. More to the point, we're not really that much up in material, but we're up a piece, so we should be able to simplify in the endgame. Most importantly, we are going to win the bishop pair from our opponent, because this bishop can't really get saved. If bishop goes back, let's say bishop b3 for example, then check. Rook e8 check, king cannot move anywhere, he will have to play king to f1. But then bishop e2 check, and now the king doesn't really want to go into a discover check. Well, let's say if king g1, bishop to b5, threatening checkmate. Not that that's going to happen, but that saves us completely from trouble. Knight f7 is not going to be a problem for us, because you can play knight h6 anytime you want. Black has the bishop pair as well, so you go into a winning endgame. And in this position, as mentioned before, if the king goes on the same file of our rook, then you just play knight to f4, threatening knight g2 checkmate. Position evaluated -4 for a while by now. So even if, let's say, d3 to give the king an escape square, you're still winning g2 with check, king moves. I mean, it's becoming a really nice position for black. I mean, it has been. Position evaluated -450 for quite a few moves now. So let's do from the start. We're going to look at a recap. The reason is we want to make sure we understand properly by the end of this saga how to beat every single Italian player. And when I say Italian player, I don't mean just the Italian people. They're very easy to beat. I mean, all the players in the world that play the Italian opening. They're also very easy to beat. So after knight c3, take the pawn, then they take back, and d5 wins the piece. But then they go on with this crazy line, knight e5. Okay, take the knight, queen h5 check, knight g6. And after bishop takes back, you have to attack the queen. Now, queen to g5 is the variation we're looking at, and after queen takes, knight takes, long castle. What happens if knight goes straight away to f7 with a fork on the two rooks? Very simple, take the bishop, nothing to worry. Knight takes rook, but then you take this back. You're completely winning in material. White is up the exchange, but you got the bishop pair and the knight pair. I don't know which one is more scary. This bishop pair that can attack every square on the board, or this knight pair that are still there in the back rank, but just like sleeping dogs, they're waiting to be waken up and fork the hell out of the white player. So in this position, after bishop g4, what happens when the queen takes the bishop? Okay, obviously we take the piece back, so it will be queen d5, and after castle, remember, we do have an advantage. It looks minimal, but we also have a better initiative. Look, knight to h6 comes with a temp on the queen. And after the queen moves to e2, still protecting the knight, which was under attack. Bishop to e7. Obviously, this discover check with the knight might have been really dangerous. I mean, white would have literally won the game. And after rook to e1, piling up pressure on the opponent king, our king, which makes sense. Still, you just castle. You got nothing to worry. And after d4, ready to develop the last piece. Is the black player ever going to be able to compensate for the lost piece? No. Knight to f5, and after c3 to defend the pawn that is being attacked. b6, best by black. And after knight to g5, let's look at this idea. The knight might be trying to go to e6, for example, but now you simply play knight to d4, guarding e6. And when the pawn takes you back, looks like you're given a piece for nothing, but in reality, you got double attack on the knight, so you win a piece. And there's nothing here. There's absolutely nothing. Even after bishop takes and queen takes, but then queen e6 check, you just move the king. There's just nothing. You are up a knight with no compensation whatsoever.